Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. Thank you for joining us today on Wisdom Minutes. If you've taken your time to watch our previous videos, you would have heard something very important and mentioned, and that is attention. Describe attention as a very important currency. I said something very instructive that when we say pay attention, we're actually saying pay money because attention is money. So today we want to go into another interesting series which will be dealing with the attention economy. We're going to look at how vastly important attention is and how it can determine the outcome of our life. I want to draw this analogy. Vehicles are made up of 4 transmission modes. You can put a vehicle in drive, you can put it on reverse, you can put it on park, you can put it on neutral. You see, life is not that easy. Life is more complicated. In life, we have only 2 transmission modes. It's either we are on drive or we are on reverse. And attention is what determines where your life is headed. In the first episode in this series, we're going to look at how you will align your attention with your intention in order to put your life on drive. Remember, I said that life is we're either on drive or we are on reverse. There is no neutral, there's no park. I was very small. I used to think that after December, there will be break before January. But as I grew older, I noticed that it's not that way. Life doesn't give us breaks. And nature has taught us that the earth constantly revolves around the sun. And when it completes a trip, we call it a year. And the moon rotates around the earth. And when it completes a trip, we call it a month. Life is constantly in motion. So are you. The question is not whether you are moving. The question is which direction are you moving. Either you are moving forward or you are moving backward. There's no neutral ground, no break, no neutrality doesn't exist. What we are going to discuss today is so important in our productivity, is so important in our personal growth, is so important in our personal development, because what you put your attention on, whether you know it or you don't know it, just like the vehicle analogy I described. If you put your car on reverse and you want to move forward, your desire has nothing to do. You can be crying and be asking people, help, 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 I want to move forward. But your vehicle is on reverse, so it keeps going backwards. This is how our life is. Cry for help could be like prayer. If you put your life on reverse because of where your attention is focused, your life will continue to move on reverse. People can try to help you, but that would mean nothing. See how important this episode is. So we're going to unravel how to get into that part of our being. I said that if our life is measured in time, time is measured in attention. You say that you spend quality time with somebody. I'm sure what you mean is that you paid attention to that person. Time, you can measure time quantitatively or qualitatively. By quantitative measurement, I'm talking about minutes, seconds, hours, days, years. But where the cross of the matter is on the qualitative measurement. And that is when we talk about attention. Where you put your attention is what determines the direction your life goes. Desire, wishful thinking, every other effort doesn't count. Transmission mode of your life is either drive or reverse. How do we get into that important part of our life? How do we get into that engine, that driver's seat of our life? How do we get our life to move on the direction we intended? That is what we're going to discuss on this series. We're going to have several episodes, one after the other. We're not going to rush into it. We'll take it one at a time. And once again, I welcome you, and I will encourage you to fasten your seatbelt as we go on this very interesting journey. Catch you again on our next episode. Then, bye.